In the name of Allah, the Beneficent, the Merciful, we give Him praise and we give Him thanks for His mercy and His goodness to the human family. The greatest of God's mercies to any people is that He sends us prophets and messengers who bring to us divine revelation. Revelation that solves the contemporary problems of the time, but revelation that brings us closer to Him. And revelation that brings us more into His divine favor. We thank Him for Moses and the Torah. We thank Him for Jesus and the gospel. We thank Him for Muhammad and the Quran. Peace be upon these worthy servants of Almighty God, Allah. I am a student of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And as a student, I could never thank Allah enough for His intervention in our affairs in the person of Master Farad Muhammad, the great Mahdi, who came among us and searched for one whose heart was filled with love for God and love for us, and a desire to see us delivered from the oppressive hand of our 400-year-old tormentor. I thank Him for choosing the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad to carry a weighty word of deliverance for the black man and woman of America, for the black man and woman of the Caribbean, Central and South America, the isles of the Pacific and Africa, and for humanity as a whole. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I greet all of you, my dear brothers and sisters, with the greeting words of peace. We say it in the Arabic language, Assalamu alaikum. To Minister Don Muhammad and his lovely wife, Sister Shirley Muhammad, to the laborers and believers of Mosque number 11, to the friends and family that are here today. It is always humbling and a great honor for me to come home to Boston, Massachusetts. Not the city of my birth, but the city of my nurturing. And I'm very pleased to see Boston growing into a great international city of great beauty. The cities of America are beautiful. The country of America is absolutely beautiful. The ugliness lies in the hearts of the people.
That's right.
And the ugliness that is in the hearts of the people is a sign of the failure of the institutions to truly cultivate what God has put within all of those whom He has created in His image and likeness according to the Bible, but created to be His vicegerent or to stand in His place on the earth. The institutions of religion, of education, of politics, of jurisprudence have failed to cultivate humanity as God has intended. So in that failure, we have a great nation, but when you see the police with bulletproof vests, with high-powered weapons on their side and in their vehicles, with stun guns and mace and sticks with lead in the stick, then what are we dealing with? We're dealing with a society that the Bible calls a wilderness. And in the term wilderness, the first part of it is wild. And that which is wild is untamed and uncivilized. Therefore, it does not have respect for the laws that govern civilization, nor do the people have respect for a fellow human being. Since the country was founded on principles of white supremacy, then the people of color, the darker people, have not ever been treated as the equal of the superior white people. This has presented a problem for whites, in that any human being who thinks he or she is superior just by virtue of the color of their skin, or any human being who feels that he or she is inferior by the color of their skin, this tells us that there's a inferior educational system here that has failed to show us the relationship of one human being to another, and a proper relationship of a human being to his or her creator. So education has failed. And now those of us who are blessed with education seem to feel that we are better than the less fortunate who do not have the education that we have. While God has created every human being to achieve excellence. So if those of us who have been blessed by degrees think that we are better than those who have not these degrees, then education has failed to teach us that to whom much is given, much is expected, and those who have should be the servants of those who do not have. Even Jesus, the Master, said when he came not to be ministered unto, but he came to minister, to serve. And he said, the greatest of you, let him be your servant. And if we do not have a mentality to serve the less fortunate, then the educational system is not a Christian educational system. It is not a Muslim educational system. It is a system that has been so politicized by the philosophy and ideology of white supremacy that it has failed to cultivate the best in the human being. And if the religious system has failed and the educational system has failed, then the politics of the country mirrors the spiritual and the intellectual. And so you have the politics and the system of jurisprudence where people fight, and if you don't have money, you can't get justice. So this whole system needs to be made over. A great country. I was very angry with the United States of America as a youngster because of the injustice that I saw and felt that black people suffered. As I matured, I saw the beauty of America, and through my study of Scripture, I saw that she had a choice. And I will lay out that choice for you today, God willing. As I looked at America as a youngster and became a Muslim, not because I was displeased with Jesus or displeased with the beautiful principles taught in Christianity. I was displeased with the hypocrisy of a religious system that preached one thing and practiced something different where black people are concerned. It was that hypocrisy that I resented. And it is that hypocrisy that drove me into the arms of Brother Malcolm and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, because I felt in the teachings of Islam as taught by the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, that at last I found a religion that was concerned for me as a black person, was concerned for black people. I was not at that time acquainted with the universal message of Islam because I could not cope with a universal message since the need. I don't mind being interfered with, but I would hope that whatever that is, that you would fix it. I did not mind the beauty of the message of Christ. But when I found in Islam a message that was specific for me, specific for us as a people, and a God that was concerned with us, I felt that was the place for me. So I became a Muslim. But I wasn't fully aware of the universal dimension of Islam. I had to grow into that, as we had to grow into that, but we had to first learn that there was a God who was concerned for us. That was very attractive to me as a young black person in America. Now every day there's something on the news about Muslims, about Islam, about names that sound strange to us, but they are the names and attributes of Allah that we were deprived of when our fathers were brought to the Western Hemisphere as slaves. Many of our fathers had those kinds of names because many of our fathers were Muslims. And since the Europeans had fought with Muslims over the holy city of Jerusalem, they knew that Islam brought out in the black man his natural militant propensities. And not wanting a militant black on the plantation, they had to not only take us away from Islam, they had to take us away from God and put themselves in the place of God as our master. And those of you who have not suffered what we have suffered do not understand what it is to have a human being who is not your creator stand in the place of God and force you to call him massa, and then beat you and lynch you and castrate you and burn you, to put fear into you for him, that we would be obedient to him in the place of God. See, God never made a nigger. God never made a Negro. God never made a colored person. God made a human being in his image and after his likeness. So when you learn to obey God, he makes you into himself. When you learn to obey a wicked slave master, he makes you a nigger, a coon, a shine, a ham bone, a drunkard, a pimp, a whore. And that is what we have been made into. Regardless of our flirtation with Christianity, we have not been yet reformed. Regardless to our flirtation with Jesus, we still wear the mark of slavery on our personalities and in our daily behavior. So the scriptures say, be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your minds. And this is what the true teachings of Jesus Christ, the true teaching of Muhammad, the true teaching of God through the prophets will produce in every human being that those teachings touch. It will transform and renew the mind, then the behavior will change. Family life will be exalted above everything that you would desire. The thing that you would desire most is a good marriage and a strong family. Because with a good marriage and a strong family, you have the foundation of a strong community, a strong nation, and a strong world. So America today, the greatest nation on this earth, the most powerful nation on this earth, is in the valley of decision.
That's right.
When Moses was among the people, he said, "This day I set before you two signs, one of life, one of death, one of blessing, one of cursing. Choose life, that you and your seed may live." As the scriptures of Bible and Quran teach that in the last days God would raise up a man like unto Moses, then you would have to have a condition similar to that of Moses. Neither Jesus nor Prophet Muhammad fulfilled in entirety the conditionality of that prophecy. You know, when I was in high school here at English High School, my second year I studied plane geometry. And there were about 53 or so theorems that I had to memorize and learn how to use them. And it taught reasoning, see. And so in one of the theorems it said, if side angle side of one triangle is equal to side angle side of another triangle, the two triangles are said to be congruent. If God says in the prophecies, I'm going to raise them up, a man like unto thee, Moses, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. Then if God says he will give them a man like Moses, then there has to be a country like Egypt. And there has to be a people like the children of Israel. And they would have to, in a congruent fashion, see, all of the sides and the angles would have to be the same in order for there to be congruency. With Jesus, he was never born a slave in a strange land. Is that right?
That's right.
And with Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon them, he was never born a slave. He was born in Arabia, the country of his birth. It was not a strange land. He had no wicked king over him as a pharaoh. Though Jesus had a Caesar over him, but he was not a slave.
That's right. Right.
Well, now let's look. Let's go to the Western Hemisphere. Now we have some congruency here. We have a people that were brought into bondage over 400 years ago, fulfilling the scripture. God said to Abraham, know of a surety that your seed shall be a stranger in a land that is not theirs, and they shall serve them, and they shall afflict them 400 years. There's no doubt that every day of our sojourn in the United States of America has been a day of affliction. And we've been here now a little over 400 years. But the scripture says, after that time, I will come, and I will judge that nation which they shall serve. That means that America will come under divine judgment. And afterwards shall they come out with great substance and go to their fathers in peace and be buried in a ripe old age. So the prophecy of longer life When Jesus says, I have come that you may have life and have it more abundantly. All of this is referring to the blessings that God would give to a people after they had suffered 400 years in bondage in a strange land under wicked rulers. Well, here we are.
That's right.
Here we are.
Yes, sir.
Now, the beauty of this day, to all those of you who study Scripture, sometimes it's very difficult, you know, for you to believe that blacks are going to come into or have come into the favor of God.
That's right. Come on.
That's a difficult one.
That's right.
Because everybody looks at us as a people that are not of so much value, you see. But as you look at America today, there is nothing that white America has achieved that you can't find us somewhere in that achievement, though we may not get the recognition. When we had the beautiful march on Washington, the Million Man March and the Million Family March, and I stood at that magnificent Capitol and looked up at it, realizing that it was slaves who built your capital.
That's right.
Now, if we were so stupid, if we were such savages in Africa, how did we have the skill to build your White House and build your Capitol building and make it the most beautiful of all Capitol buildings in the world?
Come on.
No, my dear friends, you would have to agree that our people are like the great architect in the Masonic tradition, Hiram Abiff. Those of you who don't know that tradition, I don't have time to explain it. But Hiram was a master architect. He just got hit in the head by some ruffians. And he was carried on a westerly course and buried in the North Country in a shallow grave. That is a picture of you being hit in the head by your European captors, brought to America and buried in a shallow grave, because as a people you are so disconnected from your history, your culture, your God, your religion, and your roots. You are considered a dead people, but not dead physically, but dead mentally, dead spiritually, dead morally, dead politically, needing to be resurrected. But it's going to take a master grip from a master to pull you up. And that's why Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within you. See, the building of God's kingdom is not some deep, dark secret. It's in the head and in the heart of a man who has been hit in the head. But once his amnesia is broken and he's returned to himself and to God, then what will come out of him will be a world of justice and a kingdom that God would be pleased with, that all human beings can find refuge in such a kingdom where all human beings will feel the spirit of justice and truth. That's your destiny. Unfortunately, America knows that destiny. And unfortunately, those in power do not intend for you to achieve what God has promised through the mouth of his prophets, so they have entered into a conspiracy to deprive you of your future. The conspiracy that they have entered into is one to keep you ignorant of yourself and of the promise of God to you so that you won't even move in the direction of God to fulfill that promise. Second, a false show of friendship to make you think that they have changed.
Come on. Come on.
They will allow you to marry their daughters
Come on.
just to trick you into believing
Yes, sir.
that America has finally come of age. No, I've got to tell the truth. I'm sorry. I don't mean, listen. No, listen. I don't mean to hurt anybody's feelings, you know. But while John Kennedy and Lyndon Baines Johnson were meeting with Martin Luther King, the FBI was planning his death.
That's right.
See, a false show of friendship is when I make you think I'm with you, but behind the door,
Come on. Come on.
I'm doing something else to impede what I'm telling you that I'm for. That's deceit.
Yes, sir.
That's treachery. And we have been the victims of deceit and treachery with people who know how to use good words, but they don't follow those good words up with good actions. So, it is our belief that God raised up the Honorable Elijah Muhammad to be for us a man like Moses.
That's right.
To speak truth to power.
That's right. Come on.
And to let America know you have a choice in this matter.
That's right.
You do not have to go down like Pharaoh in Egypt.
That's right.
You can be the basis of the kingdom of God on earth. What is your decision?
Yes, sir.
See? Babylon could have been healed.
That's right.
But she was not, because she refused to listen to one of her slaves that God had favored. And all arrogant slave masters have to know that the pattern of God in delivering his people is always that he raises someone up from among the abject. That's a test for your arrogance. Because when you think you are superior and God brings from a slave words that can deliver you from a painful chastisement, then you're in the valley of decision. Either your arrogance and your sense of power will make you want to hurt the man of God, or you will say, I see God.
Yes.
And I will submit to God, even though God's word is coming from one who has been my slave.
Right. Yes, sir.
That is what America is faced with today.
Yes, sir.
They allow you to be great in basketball and in football, but you're nothing but a piece of meat to entertain people. And they give you big money because they know they'll get it back, because a fool and his money will soon part. They understand that money coupled with wisdom will give you power. So if they give you money, they keep you away from wisdom. And if you got wisdom, they keep you away from money, because the two must never be together. We understand that game. But now those brothers and sisters who are the great sports people, who make tremendous amounts of money, money that should be going to teachers who shape the destiny of the nation, you give it to basketball and football players who entertain the public. It's all right. We thank you for allowing us that privilege with our physical prowess to gain tens of millions of dollars. But you must remember that you're just a piece of meat. And tomorrow, when you can't run as high, jump as high, when you can't put the ball in the hoop or run over the goalpost, then you cease to be attractive. So if you haven't put away some money for the rainy day, then you end up a drug addict. You end up feeling that you failed in life because you're no longer admired. Well, it's one thing to have a great hit record because you can sing and you can play but you're only as valuable as your latest hit.
That's right.
And if you don't make a hit for your record company, soon you will die as a performing artist. And then where are you? Most of the time, the coke man gets more money from you. Your managers, your accountants take your money, and the coke man gets it, and you are happy over your 15 minutes of fame. Because as a people subjected to the horror of slavery, we have always wanted to be accepted. So if my song can get me accepted, if my horn or my playing can get me accepted, if my basketball prowess or my football prowess or my boxing skill can get me accepted for the moment, I don't need money more than I want acceptance. And so we are abused by those who manage us because they know that we want acceptance more than money, so they tie themselves to us for the money, give us a moment of acceptance, then they can send their children to the finest institutions while you die broken, penniless. And that's why Farrakhan is hated. I have never, ever hated the Jewish people. I want you to know that from my lips. I have never hated the Jewish people. I've learned much from them. And they, in my youth, helped my mother, and she helped them. And their help of my mother allowed my mother and her skill in being a dressmaker to put my brother and me through music school, and then I was blessed to get scholarship to college through my athletic ability. So what is it that you hate, Farrakhan? I hate the glass ceiling that others impose on black people to tell us how far we can go with the gift, skill, and talent that God has given us. I hate to see you fawning and acting like a slave to get an advance here and advance there because somebody else controls your destiny. I don't like that control, and I will live and die to break that kind of control so that black men and black women can be free to be whatever God made us to be, not what a white man or any other man says that they have for us to be. I hope you understand me. It's not about hate. It's not about hate. How could I be a righteous person and hate another person for their conviction of God? That would make me a sick man. How could I say I hate Jews? Think about this. And then love the prophets that God sent to the children of Israel and love the scriptures that they brought. That don't make sense. But what I dislike is when you claim to be the people of God and then act so totally contrary to that position. Why shouldn't I call you on that? Why shouldn't I show up that kind of hypocrisy? And regardless to how much power you have, when God sends prophets and messengers, they don't care nothing about your power because they come from the power. So why then? So why then should a man of God be afraid to speak the truth? So because I come from that kind of God and offer that kind of critique, I am mislabeled as an anti-Semite. To any Jewish person, I admire you. I have deep respect for you because the God of heaven has respected you so much that while he says in the Quran, to every nation he has sent a prophet, but to the Jewish people he has sent prophet after prophet after prophet. So there must be something in you that God admires.
Yes, sir.
I love God and I admire what God admires. But I don't like it when we use God as a shield.
Yes, sir.
For actions that are other than good or other than righteous. And I think that many of the Jewish leaders have said to me, well, Farrakhan, you just have to apologize for the things that you have said. You don't ask David. You don't ask Solomon. You don't ask Amos. You don't ask Ezekiel. You don't ask the prophets to apologize for telling you the truth about your erring from the straight path of God.
That's right.
Why ask me?
That's right.
It's because you don't think that a nigger
That's right.
should be a servant of God.
Yes, sir.
You don't think that a nigger should have a connection to God. That a nigger could talk to Pharaoh like Pharaoh is his child rather than his master.
Yes, sir.
Well, I ain't no nigger. I'm a man of God. Now, yes, sir. Now, my beloved brothers and sisters, thank you. In loving this country, in my Savior's Day address since 9/11, I've heard, America the Beautiful sung so many times. How beautiful for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, her purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain. And when you just look at those words, see, all that you admire, see, that's from God. The fruited plain, the purple mountains and their see, that's God. The spacious skies, that's God. America, America, God shed his grace on thee. And that is true. This is a country that has never known what the countries of Europe have had to suffer. What countries in Africa and Asia and Central and South America has had to suffer. God has indeed shed his grace on thee. But this next part is rather false. And crowned thy good. With brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Well, the seas are shining. They're getting a little brown today, though, with pollution. But no, not quite. Brotherhood is not there. And the good that could get America crowned with brotherhood is not yet there. The brotherhood that Christianity preaches is not practiced. Even the good that Islam preaches is not practiced. Black people still find, even in Islam, that there's a little problem with other Muslims who don't see you as their equal, even though the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, saw you in a most beautiful light. Many of the Arabs from the Prophet don't see you like that. And you know I'm telling the truth. So, reform needs to be in the Muslim world. Reform needs to be in the Christian world. Reform needs to be in the Jewish world. In fact, the whole world needs reform. And America, being the only remaining superpower, could be the instrument that God could use to bring the whole world into divine order. But America first has to come into that order. Now we have a serious problem in my conclusion. Now, in 1985, in the month of September, I was in a tiny village in Mexico called Tepoztlan. It's about 40 kilometers outside of Cuernavaca, where the Honorable Elijah Muhammad had a home and settled a part of his family. On the night of the 17th of September, in a vision-like experience, I climbed a mountain there, which I have climbed several times in reality, at the top of which is a temple made to Quetzalcoatl, the Mexican or Middle American version of the Christ figure. And I've climbed that mountain several times and said prayers in that temple. But this night I didn't climb in reality, I thought. I went up that mountain, and one of these little UFOs, as they called them, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us exactly what they are, came near the mountain, and I with some of my friends saw it, and it had three prongs like it was going to land, but it didn't come over the mountain. It was just to the left of the mountain, and I was told to come. And I invited the group with me, and from this wheel the voice said, "Not them, just you." And as I came toward the wheel, I thought surely it was going to come over and land, but it didn't. And I was told to relax. And on a beam of light, I was taken up into this machine. I could not see the pilot, though I was seated next to him. I don't know why I couldn't see him, but I could feel his presence. And he sped away to that huge wheel that the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us about, that is above top secret in the United States government.
That's right.
But the secret is now beginning to come out because these things are being seen all over the world.
That's right.
Now, I knew they were taking me to the huge wheel, which I was frightened to see because the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told me that it was a half a mile by a half a mile. And I couldn't imagine something that huge in the sky. And I want you to listen, because one thing, anybody that knows me, watch me grow up in this city. I'm not a liar.
That's right.
I would not lie to you if you put a gun to my head. I'd rather die on the truth than live on a lie. So what I tell you is my experience. You can believe it or let it alone. But I'm going to share it again because Bush is about to fulfill something that I'm warning him about and you about if you go along with him. Let's listen.
Listen up.
Just listen. Now, the pilot of the little wheel, understanding my fear, flew the wheel in such a way where I wouldn't see the big one and become frightened. He went off to the side in a way, then with speed backed into a tunnel. And I'm not going to describe the tunnel and all of that, but I did. I had a what do you call, a luncheon with the leaders of the Washington Post. And Mr. Ben Bradley and all the top reporters of the Washington Post were in this luncheon. And as we got to a certain point, they said, and what about this wheel business? And then I brought out what Jimmy Carter said. I brought out what other presidents had said. And then as I began to explain what I saw, I heard Ben Bradley lean over to the one next to him and said, he knows.
That's right. That's right.
What is it that the little ex-slave knows that maybe you don't know?
Yes, sir.
But they know that I know.
Yes, sir.
I said, on the front page of your paper, you highlighted a Japanese pilot that was flying a 747 over the Bering Straits between Asia and Alaska. And he saw this huge object in the sky, and he, saw it on his radar and followed it for an hour and a half. And on the front page of the Washington Post, he compared the small size of a 747 to this huge thing that looked like a walnut. But it was a half a mile through. He said the distance of it was the size of 2 large aircraft carriers in width. And the largest aircraft carrier is 440 yards long, a quarter of a mile. 2 of them is a half a mile. It's a half a mile this way and a half a mile this way. And it has 1,500 little bombing planes on it. And it's written of in the book of Ezekiel as the wheel. It's real now. It ain't a vision anymore. It's up there, and it has 2 purposes, one of death and one of life. I'll deal with the 2 purposes, and then I'm going. And you may do with what I say as you please. When I was on this wheel, they took me into a room. It had a little speaker in the center of it. And I heard the voice of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. A voice that I had heard for 20 years. I asked him a question that concerned me, and he was a little displeased because he didn't bring me up there to discuss that. I saw a scroll roll down in front of me with cursive writing on it. And as I began to come closer to read the scroll, he spoke. And the scroll disappeared. To me, today, that scroll represented something that you read of in the Old Testament, in the book of Ezekiel. That a certain man would be given a scroll. It would be sweet in his mouth, but it would be bitter in his stomach. He's called the Son of Man. And he was set down in a valley that was full of bones. And you are the bones in the valley of the shadow of death. You are the remains of a once great people, but you are so divided and so scattered. You are like dried bones in the valley. And the bones in Ezekiel were talking to each other. And listen to their words. Our bones are dried. Our hope is lost. We are cut off from our parts. And as you listen to black people talk, listen to our words. We'll never get together. That's how we talk. Ain't nothing gonna bring us together as a people. See, your hope is gone. Your bones are dried, and you are cut off from each other. You hear the word and you respond to the word, all right, but you still don't come together. The word only makes you shake and rattle in the valley. And you have rattled under W.E.B. Du Bois and Marcus Garvey and Blyden and all of Malcolm and Martin and all those who speak to you. You shake, you rattle, you move with the word, but you still, there's no breath in you. While I was on that wheel, my teacher said, the president, who at that time was Ronald Reagan, has met with his joint chiefs of staff to plan a war. He never told me who the war was against. He said, I want you to hold a press conference and make known his plans and tell the people, you got it from me, Elijah Muhammad, on the wheel. Those were my instructions. Then he said, you have one more thing to do. He didn't tell me what it was. He said, but when you have completed it, you may come again to the wheel, and I will allow you to see me face to face. That was the end of it. I came, the plane dropped me off outside of Washington. I had the press conference. This is still in this vision-like state. And it was over. I was on a world tour starting in the Caribbean. By the time I got to Belize in Central America, Ronald Reagan came on the television with an executive order denying the American citizens the right to travel to Libya and to do any business with Libya and Muammar Gaddafi. And any American that did so would be in danger of prosecution. I started on this tour. You remember Stokely Carmichael, Kwame Ture? He called me in early February and said, Farrakhan, we're having a press conference at the National Press Club. And I would like you to 13 or 15 groups, and we want you to be our spokesman to say to President Reagan, hands off Libya. I said, yes, I will do that. This is a record. I think we have that master tape of what I said in Washington. As I saw all these cameras in the back of the National Press Club, the vision-like experience came back to me, and I wondered, is this it? I said, but no, I'm not sure that it's Libya. I'm just telling them, hands off Libya. So I went on my tour. By the time I got to Ghana in Africa, I knew that it was Libya that the war was against. I sent my family home, and I got on an Aeroflot flight, and I went to Libya to warn Muammar Gaddafi that America was about to attack her. And while I was there, they had a conference of 80 nations. And I spoke before them, and I said to them this experience, and I warned Secretary of State Schultz not to do this to Libya. And while I was in Libya, the American aircraft carrier was in the Gulf of Sirte, and an American plane had gotten shot down. This long before I could get out of Libya, the stuff had started. But then it quieted for a few days, giving me a chance to get out. I went on to Saudi Arabia, and while I was in Arabia, America bombed Libya. Tried to kill Muammar Gaddafi. They bombed Benghazi. They bombed Tripoli. And so I thought, well, my experience on the wheel was true. But little did I know that it had an impact on us in America.
Yes, sir.
See, a tiny Muslim leader and a tiny Muslim state
Yes.
and a tiny Muslim leader
Yes, sir.
and a tiny Muslim group,
Yes, sir.
but black America on the rise. Yeah. So it came clear to me in 1987 when I was flying on an airplane and picked up a New York Times magazine section, and the very words that I heard from Elijah Muhammad on the wheel, now I'm seeing it in print 2 years later. In early September, Ronald Reagan met with the Joint Chiefs of Staff to plan a war against Libya. Now, to make the long story short, I made that press conference when Bush's father was in the White House. Because the war has continued from then to now with Muslim countries and Muslim leaders, but always with another part of that war focused on America and the blacks in particular in America.
That's right.
That was 17 years ago.
That's right.
Now Bush Jr.
Yes.
is in the White House.
Yes, sir.
And this man is not speaking covertly about what his father and Reagan spoke about in the dark.
That's right.
Bush Jr.
That's right.
is so full of the power of America
That's right.
as the superpower of the world. He doesn't even have to speak covertly
That's right.
because he feels he's so powerful.
Yes.
He can speak illegally
That's
and
right.
say to hell with the whole
Yes,
world.
sir.
And look at this.
Teach.
The President of the United States said just a few weeks ago, it is the policy
Yes.
of this administration to set down Saddam Hussein.
That's what he said.
That's what he said.
That's right.
Now, if that's the policy and it is illegal
That's right.
for a head of state to go into another sovereign country and set down that leader, no matter what you think of them.
That's right.
Because if it's Saddam Hussein tomorrow, is it Jiang Zemin the next day? Is it Putin the day after? Is it Crown Prince Abdullah the day after? Who's next if America can get away with this? Now you all got something to say about this.
That's right.
And your silence will condemn you and your children to death.
That's right.
Mark my words, because you're going to run into them,
Listen up.
and it won't be long.
That's right.
Mark my words. America right now has two roads to follow.
That's right.
One of life and blessing, or one of death and cursing.
That's right.
It depends upon how your president leads this nation. And I'm going to tell you, you can write me down, take the tape so you don't miss my words.
That's right.
When you write what I say, brother, get the tape.
Yes, sir.
Because I don't want none of my words taken out of context.
Yes, sir.
President Bush is embarking on an illegal course of action
That's right.
that will make America and its leadership war criminals.
That's right.
But since there is no nation on the earth that can bring America to the bar of justice and judgment,
Yes.
I am saying
That's right.
in the name of God
Yes, sir.
that what the nations cannot do,
Yes.
God is well able.
Yes, sir. No, that's right.
This country will never be destroyed
Come on.
by some silly terrorists.
That's right.
They cannot harm America. This country is inviolable to every nation on the earth, but God raised Pharaoh up for his purpose.
Come on.
And God raised America up to make the world know that he is God. I think it would be a grave mistake if we allow a blind president
Yes.
filled with a vendetta mentality
Come on.
to take this country to hell.
Come on. That's right.
You have something to say about that.
That's right.
There are those in Washington who are around the president. I will call their names when I go to Washington,
Yes, sir.
who are Zionists.
That's right. That's right. Yes, they are.
They say they are Jews, but they love Israel
That's right.
to the point where they will manipulate government
Yes, sir.
to use the power of America
Yes.
to destroy any perceived enemy of Israel.
That's right.
3 weeks ago in the New York Times,
Yes.
it said that America is planning the war with Iraq.
Yes, sir.
Bush has to do this war within the next year or risk not being re-elected because he's popular only on the basis of a so-called war on terrorism.
That's right.
And he has not found Osama bin Laden or Mullah Omar.
That's right.
And now if the policy of his government is to overturn Saddam Hussein and he does not do that, then the promise of his administration
Yes.
is a failure.
Yes, sir.
So in order to get re-elected,
Yes, sir.
in his mind,
Yes, sir.
he has to unseat Saddam Hussein, whether he lets inspectors in or not.
Yes, sir.
Has nothing to do with
Yes,
inspectors.
sir.
Has nothing to do with weapons of mass destruction. I know that Israel already has
That's right.
weapons of mass destruction.
That's right.
And it is the policy of this government and her friendship with Israel that no Arab nation should ever develop
That's right.
weapons of mass destruction that could produce a détente
Yes.
with Israel.
That's right.
But Israel must have the power to destroy the whole Arab world.
That's right.
And this is why America is bent on the destruction of Saddam Hussein.
Yes, sir.
Now who will be the soldiers? That's why I'm speaking.
Yes, sir. That's right.
Because you don't offer my people
That's right.
justice and jobs.
That's right.
They go to college, they get a degree, but either they're too learned for the job you give them.
Come on.
They got too much knowledge for the little cheap job you want to
That's
give them.
right.
And you never train them how to make a job for themselves. So in order not to sell drugs,
Yes.
they join the armed forces.
That's right.
Be all that you can never be in American society, but you can be that in the armed forces of America. And they make it real attractive for you.
That's right.
And now the president, like those old Caesars in Rome,
Yes, sir.
giving the army more dinars and more
Yes.
shekels and more
Yes, sir.
whatnot,
Yes, sir.
pumping up the armed forces because he's about to use them. And he tells you straight up
Yes.
that they're going to be body bags.
Yes.
But they won't be Bush's drinking daughters.
Yes.
They will not be Rumsfeld's family.
Yes, sir.
They will not be the warmongers.
That's right.
It'll be the poor black, the poor brown, and the poor white whose lives will be sacrificed to fulfill a vendetta of the Bush family. Now you can be silent, but I have a rendezvous with destiny.
Yes, sir.
What is that, Farrakhan? You got a death wish?
No, sir. No, sir.
My brother Martin spoke against the war in Vietnam. And within a year, he was dead.
Yes.
And the best you can do is name a lot of streets and boulevards for a brother that we had to fight like hell just to get him a holiday.
Yes.
And several states still don't want to give it to him. He was a better American than most of you and most of the whites in government.
Yes, sir.
Because he knows that in order for America to have perpetuity, justice has to be an American principle.
That's right.
And if justice is not there, America cannot live long. No military power has ever been able to save a great empire if that empire was not built on truth and justice. And all of the great empires are gone, and America is going.
That's right.
Now listen good, because you and I live in her.
That's right.
The warmongers are saying, Senator Lieberman,
That's right.
he's a Zionist.
Yes, he is. That's right.
Senator Lieberman and the grip that they have on the U.S. Senate. See? When Netanyahu came, big honor for him, and he's even more extreme than Netanyahu, than Sharon.
That's right. That's right.
The Senate got blood in them.
Yes, sir.
See? Attack Saddam Hussein. I don't care what he does. Even if he lets the inspectors in, he gassed his own people.
Yes, sir.
Who did you gas? Ask the Native Americans about biological warfare.
Yes, sir.
And then ask us.
Come on, Minister.
And not one of you got a family that you don't have a member in your family that's victimized by drugs.
That's right.
That's right.
There's not one of you that have a family
That's right.
that don't have a family member under the legal system in some kind of way.
That's right.
And the government already has planned to take your children.
Yes.
Because you're growing in intelligence now, and they don't want you passing on to these little black babies the growth in your knowledge. So if you spank your child too much, if you leave home and leave them there for a minute, you've abused your child.
Yes,
Come on,
sir.
Minister.
So the DCFS take your babies
Yes.
and put them in a white home,
Yes.
put them in somebody else's home.
Yes.
But the family can't rear the children. This is conspiracy. Oh, America.
Yes.
But I represent a God.
Yes, sir. I know that.
You're going to pay for this.
Yes, sir.
That's what I want to let the president know.
Yes.
See, those of you who think you're dealing with a damn nut here,
Yes.
you're meeting with a man of God.
That's right.
And before I die
Yes, sir.
and leave this earth, you're going to know
Yes.
of the God that I represent. You have not seen terror. You have not seen terror
That's right.
until the God
That's right.
terrorize your rotten behind.
Yes, sir.
America,
Yes, sir.
you're in trouble.
That's right. Yes, sir.
And if you let Bush take you down and you quiet, I'm going to speak.
That's right.
I'm going to act.
Yes, sir.
Whether you join me or not, that's on you.
Yes, sir.
But they already have framed a law for me.
Yes, sir.
That if I'm saying for me, you got to speak for yourself.
Yes, sir. We're with you. We're with you. with you.
I'm not your spokesman in this. Damn it, you're going to have to speak for yourself.
Yes, sir.
But I was born for this hour.
That's right.
Bush is born for this hour. See the way he walked? He's full of himself.
That's right.
The power of America got him.
Yes, sir.
But I raised the question,
Yes, sir.
how did you know so much the day after
Yes. Right.
and didn't know anything the day before?
Yes, sir.
Do you remember Farrakhan saying that? Now 8 months later it's coming out that somebody knew something. See, what is 4,000 lives and a few $1 billion to power?
Yes.
And to ram through Congress a patriotism law.
Come on.
That makes it against the law for you to speak against what Bush is about to do. Well, I'm going to break that law.
Yes, sir.
I have a rendezvous with destiny. And so does America.
Yes, sir.
I may look insignificant to you.
No, sir.
It's all right. But how America treats me will determine her fate.
That's right.
Yeah. I'm saying this so you hear it.
Yes, sir.
Because you're going to run into it.
Yes, sir.
Bush is not like his father.
Yes, sir.
He's a fighter.
Yes, sir.
He's a warrior. I'm not even suggesting that he knew,
Yes.
but he's the beneficiary
That's right.
of the tragedy of September the 11th.
That's right.
America was divided.
That's
The
right.
politics of the country was divided, and he was a president that was looked upon as one who stole the election.
That's right.
But on September the 12th, the 13th, the 14th, and the 15th, he became the greatest beneficiary
That's right.
of the tragedy of September the 11th. Now, when Congress starts asking, who knew
Yes.
and when did you know it?
Yes.
Don't be shocked at what comes out.
That's right.
You see, the Holy Quran and the Bible teaches what is done in the dark,
Yes.
God is going to bring it forth
That's right.
into the light.
Yes.
The Holy Quran said, though it be the weight of an atom hidden in a rock and buried in the earth, yet will Allah bring it forth.
Yes.
This is that time
That's right.
that your secret madness will be brought to light.
Yes, sir.
And only those favored by God
Yes, sir.
will weather the storm of the manifestation of our defects.
That's right.
Now, as I leave you, President Bush is determined to make war
Yes.
on Iraq, but Homeland Security
Yes.
is determined to make war
Yes.
on all those inside America
That's right.
who have the courage to speak truth to power.
That's right.
Reverend Moon is considered a dangerous man.
That's right.
They arrested him and jailed him in a federal penitentiary under trumped up charges. But in a recent talk that Reverend Moon made, he told you about the future of this nation
That's right.
if she didn't turn from the way
That's right.
that she's going.
That's right.
Well, every voice like his,
Yes.
like mine, Reverend Jackson,
Yes, sir.
Reverend Sharpton,
Yes, sir.
even the white pastors that will speak,
That's right.
we will all be looked at
Yes.
as aiding and abetting
Yes.
terrorists. And under that catch-all law,
Yes.
I might be arrested when I get back from overseas. But I don't want you to worry about me.
Yes, sir.
You worry about you.
That's right.
Because they're not going to do nothing to me except what God pleases.
Yes, sir.
And whatever God pleases, it pleases me.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
If I'm killed,
Yes.
I'm happy.
Allah is good.
Because you will know that I died on the principle of truth.
That's right.
Because no life is worth anything without truth.
Yes, sir.
But you will never kill Farrakhan.
That's right.
My father told me about a man named Elisha
Yes.
Yes, sir.
who had a double portion of the spirit of Elijah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And when Elisha died, they put him down in a grave.
Yes.
And there were some bones in the grave, and they began to shake when his body came down. And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, "Do you know what that means?"
Yes, sir.
I said, "No, sir." He said, "It means that Elisha had power to rule from beyond the grave.
That's right.
You will never kill Farrakhan."
That's right.
Yes, sir.
What I teach,
That's right.
what is in the hearts of black people,
Yes, sir.
you don't have power to snuff it out.
That's right.
That's right.
My death will be even more valuable than my life.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I have a rendezvous with destiny.
Yes, sir.
So does America.
That's right.
So does Bush.
That's right.
If Bush changes and says, "I want to make America the kingdom of God on earth," he'll go down in history as the greatest president
Yes.
that this nation has had, because he has the power.
That's right.
He can do that.
Yes, sir.
And America is the only country on earth that has the potential of being the kingdom of God on earth,
Yes,
with
sir.
every nation, every kindred, every tongue living inside of America. We can come up out of the past
Yes, sir.
and make a beautiful present and future
Yes, sir.
with the Spirit of God among us.
Yes, sir.
Oh yes,
Yes, sir.
that's the blessing.
Yes, sir.
That's life,
Yes, sir.
Bush. But if he chooses death,
Yes.
I can tell you that if you hear that Farrakhan spoke in Washington, which they may shut it off,
Yes, sir.
but if you hear that I spoke and I leave this country going overseas,
Yes, sir.
I'm telling you in advance, watch
Yes.
the weather.
Come on.
30 days.
Yes.
God is going to show America what he will do to America if you trouble me
Yes, sir.
and continue your deceitful practice against the black people of this country.
Teach. That's right.
We are his people,
Yes, right.
and he will spend nations' lives
Yes, sir.
for your deliverance.
That's right.
But you have to come up out of your madness.
Yes, sir.
Every time you pick up a gun to kill a black man,
Yes.
you become an enemy of God who came to save us from destruction. So this gang banging madness,
Come on. Come on.
Come on, brother.
it has to stop.
That's right.
Come on.
And we Muslims,
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
when we were united,
Yes.
this madness did not go on in the black community.
That's right.
But when we became divided,
Yes.
Sir.
and some of us went back into the grave and became criminals,
Sir.
now the black community is a sea of confusion and death and destruction.
That's right.
So the coming together of the Muslims will end a lot of the madness in our community.
That's right. That's right.
The coming together. But I'm not talking about coming together on rituals.
That's right. Come on. That's right.
Right.
Keep the ritual.
Yes.
Give me the truth
That's right.
that is in the ritual.
That's right.
Right.
That's
Prayer must never degenerate into a ritual.
Right.
prayer must be the earnest supplication of the believer
That's right.
to God.
That's right.
Ritualistic religion is dead.
That's right.
The Catholic Church must reform,
That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's
or
right.
it will go out of existence.
That's right. That's right.
The Pope must not legislate that which is contrary to nature
That's right.
and contrary to the will of God.
That's right.
God has never
That's
said that a man should be celibate.
That's right. That's right.
That's right.
How can you be a father
Come on.
and don't have a woman
Teach.
to bring out the best or the worst in you? A woman, you can't even be a man without a woman. How in the hell can I respect a man who don't know nothing about a woman and call him my father? Clean it up.
That's right.
And I'm saying to all the Muslims,
Yes, sir.
I have never heard too much about pedophilia among us.
Come on.
But I know reality is reality.
That's right.
Yeah, that's right.
I better not find it.
That's
Come on,
right.
minister. Come on.
Yes, sir. That's right.
We better not hear no crap like that.
That's right.
That's right.
We'll deal very forcefully with that. You ain't got to take us to no court. We'll be the court.
That's right.
But I also want to say that these females are no playground for
That's right.
the brothers in Islam.
That's right. That's right.
I'm warning you, especially those of us in leadership.
Come on, minister.
Yes, sir.
You play with this,
Come on.
you out of luck.
That's right.
I'll sit you down so fast, brother. It'll look like lightning struck.
That's
Come on,
right.
minister.
You leave these women alone.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Just making it clear. God don't need any one of us.
That's
That's
right.
right. That's
He's independent.
That's right.
But women are sacred.
Yes.
They're not to be played with.
That's right. That's right.
So I thank you all for allowing me this moment with you, my dear brothers and sisters of Boston.
Yes, sir.
This place is too small.
Yes, sir.
We've outgrown it.
That's right.
We need something much bigger and better for Boston.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We cannot expect people to be in cramped quarters,
Yes, sir.
can't see, can't hear.
Yes, sir.
We have to have a facility that demands,
That's right.
that the demands of the time.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And under the great leadership of Minister Don,
Yes, sir.
who is without peer
That's right.
in the majesty of his leadership,
Yes, sir.
his genius in economic development,
Right.
and his helpers.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
That's right.
Minister Don is a wonderful example.
Yes, sir.
But these young ministers
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
go in every nook and corner
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
and raise the people up.
Yes, sir.
You deserve a cathedral.
That's right.
That's right.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
Maybe if the Catholics have to pay out all this money, they might allow us to buy one of their. Of course, we wouldn't desecrate the building, but we would have to take down images because we don't believe that we should make any graven images or likenesses of God and bow down and worship them as the commandments teach us. But the Catholics have built beautiful facilities. They've always had schools with their churches. But there's an underlying racism there that we have noticed in the Catholic Church that has to be challenged. Those of you who are Catholics, white Catholics, or black Catholics, you know what I'm talking about. As I was driving through, coming here, and I want to thank the police for their escort. It makes a man feel good to come home and the police are not riding him to jail. As I was driving through, coming here, and I want to thank the police for their escort. It makes a man feel good to come home and the police are not riding him to jail. Yes, sir. I'm telling you, I really love this nation. Yes, sir. And I have great respect for President Bush. I'm not going to lie to you. Yes, sir. I will speak to him with respect, but straight words. Yes, sir. That's right. I have to do it. That's right. I have to go on record as having done it. Yes, sir. Then they can do with me what they please. Now, they have the power now to do a lot of things to me and to us. They do. See, you know, can I say this? And I know I got a couple of minutes or two. You know my conclusions, they're always 6 hours. But you know, seriously, you know, the country has many people in it that would stand for good. And when I say that I respect President Bush, I really do. He's the head of a great nation, the greatest in the world. But I do not believe that the direction he's taking is good for him and good for the country. And therefore it's not good for us. So even at the risk of being arrested, now the police escorted me today to the mosque, and they will escort me probably to the church. I hope that tomorrow they won't escort me to jail. But I want you to know I do not agree with nobody killing innocent people just for political purposes. I could never agree with anybody that drove a plane into a building with people in that building who know nothing about what your beef is. And I could never agree that you would take innocent people on a flight going somewhere to meet loved ones, not knowing that they are dying in the next few hours. I can't go along with that. So I'm with President Bush to find whoever did that.
That's right.
But I'm not with him to use that as a predicate for war on a nation that had nothing to do with that. That's my concern. That they don't use this as the predicate for war to take down nations with whom they have a disagreement. Cuba. President Carter goes there. And Castro lets him speak. And he spoke. The Pope went there.
Yes.
And the Pope spoke.
Yes.
I went there.
Yes, sir.
And he let me speak.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But to say that he's developing weapons of mass destruction
Right.
as a predicate for war,
Yes.
you know, we're not going for that.
That's right.
If you don't want any nation to have weapons of mass destruction, show you the leader and destroy all of yours.
That's right.
You want no nation to have it but you, so you can threaten the nations of the earth. I want China to have it.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
I want Russia to have it if America has it.
Yes, sir.
Because America has shown she will use it. What was that bomb that they dropped in Afghanistan that they call a daisy cutter? See? And they said they will use their latest technology on Iraq.
Right.
You know what a smart bomb is? They already dropped that on Iraq in 1990 and 91. It's a bomb that has in it depleted uranium.
That's right.
And that's why the people in Iraq have been dying ever since the war is over. Over 1.5 million Iraqis have died since the end of the war. Mostly over 500,000 children.
That's right.
Of diseases that could have been cured if through the relief of the sanctions they would allow those kind of medicines to go in to Iraq. See, there's a lot that you don't know that your government has been doing in your name. Well, that's what I need to point out to you.
That's right.
Right.
And to the American people.
Make a point.
See? So maybe after a while they'll be doing this, you know. In every city that I go into or we go into, they'll have escorts.
Yes.
Because we'll probably show them we're the best Americans.
That's right. That's right.
We're better for you than your own white brothers. And then God will try us to see how we act.
That's right.
And we must never act as we were acted upon.
That's right.
Never,
That's right.
never look at a person's color and decide justice. Never look at a person's religion or station in life to decide what justice is. Let truth
That's right.
determine
That's right.
justice,
That's right.
and you will be a great ruler.
That's right.
May God bless you. May God bless Minister Don and all the believers who are with him. Help him. Let's go get a cathedral. Minister Don deserves a big house where he can have thousands of people listening to the message of Islam and truth as taught
Yes, sir.
by him from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Thank you for listening.
Thank you.
I greet you in peace.